Hey guys, I'm not sure what happened, but I'm going to come back and hopefully you guys do too. I'm not really sure what's going on with Periscope, but it dropped me. Yesterday it dropped me too. All right, we're going to do your Q&As. Tonight is Q&A. So if you're just joining me, I'm Mia Redrick. I am the Mom Strategist and I support moms with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com or on my past scopes at katch.me. And search my name, Mia_Redrick. Now tonight is a live Q&A, and it's a live Q&A for you guys, so you can ask me whatever it is that you want, and I'll answer it, okay? And I haven't done one in such a long time. I thought it would be pretty cool to do, all right? So are there any questions for me? I was challenging you, Pat, to do your Periscope, and I believe you said you were going to do it on tomorrow, so can you confirm that? So that we can all, just give us a time. I will set a time for 2 tomorrow. Okay, perfect. So I'll be looking for that notification on tomorrow, Pat. And that's the only way to do it. It's just to jump in, okay? All right. So are there any other questions for me? I'm not sure what's going on with Periscope. Likely a lot of people probably, maybe a snowstorm. I'm in Maryland and it is snowing outside. Like it is really snowing, guys. I actually went to the grocery store yesterday and they just had a pork roast in the meat section. Just one pork roast. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, just one piece of meat. Yeah, it's snowing, right? No snow in Wyoming. Okay, thank you all for stretching me. Absolutely, that's what a great community does. It stretches you to reach for more in your life. Are there any other questions? That's ridiculous, right? Absolutely. You're in D.C., Shanita. Saw your tweet. That was funny, right? You'll be in D.C. all next week, right? Well, you bring your boots. Okay, bring your boots. And what you need to know is that we closed school today for the threat of snow. There was no snow really on the ground at all. And because of the threat of snow tonight, school was closed today. Yeah, okay. So I'm just telling you that's just how it is in Maryland and DC. That's how we do snow. We close school for the threat of snow. Okay. Are there any questions for me? Is it snowing in Brooklyn? Is it snowing in Brooklyn? I think it's coming up that way, right? It's actually the storm has started in the south. No school days for homeschool, right? Yeah, no snow days, right, for homeschooling. No, I totally get that. My kids had snow days today. So, you know what? Actually, my son, my youngest, asked me, was it yesterday? He was like, yeah, how is it that that some kids are homeschooled? And I said that their parents have committed to educating them. He was like, wow, that sounds cool. And he's like, could you do that for me? And I said, well, that's not mommy's gift. I said, well, mommy is the school homeschool mom, right? Like you go to school and then you come home and I can homeschool you, right? Because otherwise we'd be on field trips all the time. You got to know what your strengths are. You got to know what your strengths are, Shanita. And we would be on a field trip every day if I were homeschooling my kids. Like really. Anyway. But he did just ask me that. Are there any questions for me tonight? It's a live Q&A. You guys bring the questions. Yes, light snow in Brooklyn for now, expecting up to 18 inches. That's what they're saying for us, 18 inches. Laughing out loud field trips every day. Kimberly, we'd be on a field trip every day. My kids would be everywhere, okay? And then, and like there would be these things called forms and like standards and tests and assessments, and they wouldn't do all those things because we would be on a field trip every day. All right. See, you got to know what your gifts are. And, but I definitely thought about it. And then I thought about me and then said, hey, this is not something I'm really good at. Mia, what is the best way to ensure you have the best assessment tool? I think it's thinking about what your demographic is and what your industry is. So there are some best practices depending on what industry you're in, Nicole. And sometimes they have forms that are just standard forms that you can customize for yourself. In that way. In any assessment tool that I use, I write them myself because when I designed my business, a competitive tool, okay? When I got started in my business, there really weren't a lot of mom assessment tools, so I wrote them myself. It was just information that I wanted to know about my clients to be able to assess where they were and to be able to support them. And I would just say, hey, look at the industry that you're looking at. Look at what are the best practices? What are the tools that already exist? And you might look at a couple of them, and then maybe from a couple of them, you look at some of the things that you like, pull some of those ideas off, and then customize them based on how you want to structure your business. That's what I would do. So But all of my assessment tools are pretty much generated myself. But when I was first starting in business, I actually invested in some coaching education that had some coaching packages that had some assessment tools that were pretty cool for me, because I didn't know what all to ask my clients when I first got started. So I decided to invest in a program that allowed me to use their assessment tools and customize them. North Carolina is in the house. Is it snowing in North Carolina? I think it was snowing in Atlanta. I believe earlier today. So is it snowing in North Carolina? And what part of North Carolina are you in? Okay. Did that support you, Nicole, or not? And if not, you can always shoot me an email. You can always shoot me an email. More sleet than snow. I can do it. I just need to trust that mine will be the best. Absolutely. So I will just start with them. And, and your clients will give you feedback too. You're near Chapel Hill, okay? So you guys have sleet, more sleet than snow. I know Atlanta had snow today. I saw a couple of pictures of people in Atlanta. And I was like, oh my goodness, Atlanta. I know this whole city is shut down, right? You guys remember last year they had the ice storm. And that was crazy. Kids were in their car for like 15 hours. They couldn't get home from school because of an ice storm in Atlanta, and they had not salted the streets, okay? You guys remember that? Or am I the only person that remembered that? Okay, remembers that. All right. Are there any other questions for me? Because if there are not any questions, then I'll sign out. I know you guys got things you want to do, and you do learn along the way what you need to adjust. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Remember, perfection is the enemy of progress, right? You remember, okay? Is it better to use platforms like Wix.com or WordPress to build your site, or a Fiverr.com gig, okay? So that's a great question. I've never used Wix to build my website. I've always used, over the years when I was first getting started, I used WordPress sites, and then I hired someone to design the site for me, to customize the site for me. Why? Because it was inexpensive to do, and two, I could customize the site, and it was, again, I could hire a developer that would build my site for me from scratch, and I can control what it looked like. So I never used the structured platforms like Wix, but those are great platforms, and a lot of my clients use them, but I've never personally used them. I have used WordPress sites, hired someone on Fiverr or on Upwork, something like that, and had somebody design a site for me that was a customizable site. So that's just a really great way to go. And I think the main thing to think about is that you don't have to spend a lot of money to build a website, to build a web presence. You can either go, there's places you can go and do just lead pages. Mia, can I email you a few hours of my confirming time to scope on tomorrow? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money to do that. I've never spent over $500 to get a website done. So that's just the point. So I'm just not a big fan of that. I started on Blogger, okay? I'm not a big fan of that. How do you begin writing a book? You begin by writing a book by writing a book. You can decide if you are going to be the person to write it. You write an outline of what you want to talk about, or you can actually decide if you physically want to write it, or if you want to have someone write it for you, or if you want someone to help you to do it for you. Like, you can, hey there, good to see you, or you wanna just hire somebody completely just to do the whole thing for you. So you have an option to have a ghostwriter do it for you. You have an option to give people some of your content, and then they take it from there and finish it for you, or you can make the decision to write it yourself. I've done all three of those. So all three of those to write my book. And you just have to decide on the size of the book that you want to write, how many pages is it going to be, what the outline's going to be, who is it for. And writing a book is actually not really that difficult when you understand that. I have a lot of my clients that they write small books that start with a 40, 60 page book. And it counts. It all counts. So I would say the most important thing, if you're going to write it yourself, is put yourself on a writing schedule. It might be every Saturday for 1 hour. You're like, I'm going to write my book. I'm going to write a chapter in my book. If you know what the outline's going to be, then you commit to that, and you can knock it out like that. So there's tons of other tools that you can use to be able to write your book without picking up a pen. A lot of clients have hired us, also me, my team, to do ghostwriting services for them. We've done tons of books, hundreds of books, that way, where we write books for clients. It's all of their IP, their intellectual property, but we support them in getting it from their head out on paper, So there are lots of creative ways. Did I answer your question, Ebony? Did I answer your question? And if not, just write a follow-up question, okay? For me, like writing schedule, right? Writing schedule is the easiest way. That's what I did when I wrote my first book. I used to go to the library on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evenings when my kids went to sleep, okay? And when they went to sleep in the evenings, I would go to the library and I would write during that time. And I knew exactly what chapter I was going to write during that time, and that's how I did it. So that's it. So until I was done. And that was that. It was just simple. And it took me maybe about 3 months or 4 months or so to actually, finish the content for the book. That was it. And I was surprised because I thought it was going to take a long time. But if you're on a writing schedule, it's pretty easy to do. Most of my clients who hire ghostwriters, they're done with their books within, 3 to 4 months of getting the content out, provided that they show up as they need to get the content done. So that's a whole nother thing. So anyway, are there any other questions? Are there any other questions for me that I can support you guys with tonight? That's what it's about. It's like a live Q&A. And I was on the other scope and Periscope knocked me off. So this is actually the second scope. So if you missed the first one, there's some pretty good questions. So make sure you check it out. Okay. Are there any other questions that you guys have for me? Any questions? Maybe you have questions about coaching. Like, do you have any questions about coaching? Maybe you guys are looking for a coach, or maybe you've worked with a coach and you're trying to get questions. I need you. What about media things? So you need media attention on what's your business. Tell me, Bray Brooks, what your business is, right? So I think one of the things that's so important is how to elevate your brand through the media. And it's a really great thing to know how to do. I get all of my clients to go through my Core Moms program. This is great. Thanks for sharing. Absolutely. All of my clients that go to my Core Moms coaching program, they have to get media. And I show them the process that I use specifically to do that. How do you decide if a coach is right for you? That's a great question. All right, let me do the media question. Then I'll answer that question, okay? So the thing about media, it's Karen, an author living fearless in 23 days. Awesome. Okay. I did a monthly segment for a year in my town. Awesome. Okay. So you need to keep that going, right? And you likely need to put together a reel. So if you haven't done so already, to do a segment to show what your work is, right? To show that you've done a lot of television work and you can talk about a lot of different topics. And that's the easiest way to get media, is in that way. And what I like to do is you did not enjoy it. So find the media that you like to do and do it. Do you prefer print media or do you prefer television? So television sometimes people don't like because, it's live and you've got to be present, you got to be fixed up. Some people prefer print media. Do you prefer print media? Then, go for that, right? So just find the outlets that are easy for you. Hey, good to see you, Julia. Good to see you. Tonight's a live Q&A. So what I'm going to say to you is that I think media is so important. You like it all, Karen. And so one of the things that I think is important is if you want to elevate your brand, media is a great way to be able to do it. If you're trying to position yourself as an expert, you definitely want to be getting out there. Someone else asked the same questions, right? You definitely want to be getting out there and letting people know who you are and what's different about who you are and what's unique about who you are, and that you're around, like who you can support. So media is a great way to be able to do that. I've always used either print media or obviously television to be able to promote my brand. And I found it to be a really great way to position my message and to get new customers. So that's what I recommend that all my clients do, my Core Moms coaching program. Every single person has to get media. All right, I want to answer this other question. Good to see you, darling. Good to see you, Julia. The other question was, how do you know if a coach is right for you? That's a great question. And I think it's one of those things that we don't ask enough. A lot of times we get caught in the hype with a lot of times when we're choosing coaches and things like that because of where we meet coaches. So sometimes you might go to a webinar, right? And you might see a coach over and over again through a webinar. Thank you guys so much for your support. You might see a coach over and over again through a webinar, and you might like what they're talking about. And then, at home, you make that decision that you want to work with them, right? So a lot of times we work with coaches. We've never, ever had any contact with. We've never talked to them. You've never even been on a platform like this to be able to ask them a question live. Sometimes you have, most times not. Other times you see coaches out at live events, maybe at speaking engagements and things like that. They're on the stage. You love what they're saying. You're excited about what they're saying, but you're not really sure if they can support you. How do you put yourself out there to get yourself okay? But I think it's very important that when you're choosing your coach, that you look at the results that that coach has created, that they've shown you, things that they've actually done, that you can see that they've really done it. And if those are the same things that you want to accomplish, then you know that that person can support you with that result. That's pretty simple. So for me, like, I look at things, okay, can you help me get media in the Mom Academy? I can. One second. One of the things that I like to look at is whenever I'm thinking about working with a coach is, for example, I want it to be free. What I meant by that was I wanted to be an entrepreneur so that I could own my time, right? And I wanted to be able to work from the comfort of my home, which I do. And so I hired someone that was living that way, all right, because I knew that whatever she was doing was in alignment with how I wanted to live. Like she knew how to build her business from the comfort of her home. She knew how to value her content and how to sell it. She knew how to strategically create continuity programs and things like that to be able to make money passively. That was what I was really excited about. All right. So, right. The proof was in the pudding. And I think sometimes we choose coaches, and this is what I see all the time. People choose coaches, like they'll go to an event and they'll see a coach and they're like, oh, you know what? She's so amazing. But the coach is making their money at a speaking engagement, going from one event to the next event, to the next event, to the next event. Right. And your life can't do that. See, now for me, my husband was on dialysis. I had young kids when he started on dialysis. I could not travel and do all of that. So I wasn't looking for someone to teach me how to do that. I wanted to learn how to build my business from my home with a passive strategy. And I knew that the teachers that I needed to have needed to be able to teach me that. Do you understand? And so I hired someone based on that. And that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I built my business from the comfort of my home. I do most of my coaching at night because that's my preference, at 9 o'clock at night, because I built it when my kids would go to bed at night. That's when I mostly support a lot of my clients beyond my couple site visits. Okay. So I think that answered your question. And there was another question and I have forgotten it. I cannot remember what the other question was, so you're going to need to write it again. I'm so sorry, right? There was a lot of questions. So you need to make sure that the way your coach is making money is the way you want to make money. That's what I believe wholeheartedly, and not get caught up in the hype. The other thing is that I've never hired anybody that couldn't see me. So I'm not saying that people have to spend a lot of time with me, but I've always hired coaches, Nicole, who knew my name. Okay, marketing, right, in the Moms Academy, yes. Okay, that's right, that's what it was, right, in the Moms Academy. Well, there is a segment that I go over in the Moms Academy where I talk about how to get media, how to attract media. So yes, I will teach on that topic also. I also teach on it in Core Moms as well. So the Moms Academy is a coaching program that I do that's $117 a month. It was $97 a month. It's $117 a month. It is a 1 year. It is a 1 year commitment. And the first 30 days is your trial, right? You get to come and see how it works for you. The whole idea is that we talk about, how to create your products, how to monetize your products, how to get media, but I also give you some live calls also. It's done here on Periscope and in a private group. I answer your questions live. It's just for my clients there. And it's pretty interactive, and I get to go deep and share resources with you and break down the how-to. So on these scopes, these are great, but I don't always get to break down the how-to and the resource and things like that because I have to save something for my clients, right? But I'm committed to giving you guys great content here as well, but also supporting you more deeply in your business. So yes, that's what the Moms Academy is. You guys can always visit themomsacademy.com, themomsacademy.com. Is the link that you need to go to if you're interested in learning about what that program is. But it is a life and business success program for entrepreneurs. And also, there is a private community as well that you can post your questions in. So, there's no limitation on the number of questions you can post inside the community. Is it a deadline? No, it's ongoing. It's every month. I don't remember when the next call is, but I think it's the first week in February. I soak up all I can like a sponge. I know you do. I know you do. And then the other thing is you also get access to the recordings, the previous recordings. And then there are some of the Periscopes that I've done that are some private scopes that will go in there for bonus training for you guys, where I go deeper on the training for you all. So you'll get to see those videos also. We'll start loading those shortly. We actually just think they're like 10 or 11 that are loaded, but I don't think they're live yet. So that's the whole idea, is that it's training for yourself. Okay, great. February 1st joining. Okay, awesome. You'll love it. It's great. And, you try for 30 days, see if it fits your style. If it doesn't, you're not contracted to finish for the next 12 months. But you're going to love it. Like, people loved it. I don't know if Tara came back, but Tara was on. She's in the Moms Academy, and she loves it. She was there for the first call. I know that, Nicole, you just joined, and you've been able to maybe see one of the calls, or maybe the other three. But you get access to all of the information when you join. That's what's so cool about it. It's like you not only get your calls, but you get all the other calls as well. So you get to see everything over the course of the year, and you get to pick and choose what you need. I already know you are perfect for my business. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, I'm still working on homework from the call. So Tara, why don't you take a minute, if you don't mind, and tell them, what your experience was like. We talked about how to create products, right? And then you create a product, and then you have homework. So any of my coaching programs, my clients have homework. So you have homework, you have 30 days to do it. So and that way I know that you'll do it. You have to talk about what you've done, and you won't hide. So I wanted to create the Moms Academy. Yeah, tell her, Tara. I wanted to create the Moms Academy because I wanted it to be an affordable option to be able to work with, with you and help you get results. And that's what it's about, like in 2016, right? And all of us need accountability. You need information, and you need support. Thank you so much. Someone asked, what is passive income? Oh, did someone ask that? Okay. So passive income is income that's not based on my ability to perform. Okay. Passive income means that I'm making money and it's not based on my ability to perform. Give you an example. Like when I have 17 ebooks that I sell online, various ways, and they sell for different prices, from $14 to $30, and I make money and I am sleeping. All right, meaning people want the information and they buy my products, my services. The other way is like e-courses that you have, or continuity programs. Tara says it's very intimate, detailed, goal-oriented coaching session. Making money while you sleep, right? Laughing out loud. Truthfully, what got me was the first time I created this ebook that was, it was like 40 pages that I outsourced. Somebody wrote it for me and started selling it. I was in a grocery store. I had never made money like in the grocery store. I was like at the deli counter, and people were buying my ebook, and it blew me away. That's what I'm talking about, while you're sleeping. See, when you're a mom, you are looking for passive ways to be able to generate income. What you're looking to do is to be able to take what you know and to package it into products that can work while you are doing other things, because we're like doing other things. And there are programs that I do show up for live, but there is a system that I have to capture what I know so that I can monetize my gifts. So that let's say that I'm doing a TV show, right? Let's say in 3 months I'm doing a TV show. Like, can I still coach clients? The question is, am I able to support clients if I'm doing that? Then I need to have products that can work if I'm not able to do that. Giving information and resources needed to accomplish those goals. Thank you, Tara, for sharing. That's what I'm trying to figure out for my business. Right. So you don't have to figure it out. What you need to do is you need to work with someone that's already doing that, can show you how to do it. It's very simple to do and to know how to do it. Guys, all you need to do is reset and come back so that the hearts count. Because Periscope is kind of funky about that. If you tap the screen and you're over 500 hearts, your hearts don't count, right? So we want to count. So you guys just need to leave the scope. And you got to leave the scope, and then you have to come back, join the scope again, and then your hearts count, okay? So I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the Mom Strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. You guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com or at katch.me. And search Mia_Redrick. Today is a live Q&A. It's a live Q&A, and I'm just here to answer any questions you might have for me. I love that you understand author pathways, right? Well, I've worked with a lot of authors, lots of different types of authors, lots of different backgrounds with my clients. I've literally worked with colonels, PGA golf pros, high-level business coaches, people who have incredible movement. I've worked with colonels, a chief of police, you name it. I've worked with very high-level people to help them be able to tell their story and to position their story to be able to monetize it. That's what I love to do. It's very exciting for me to be able to do it. And when you're writing a book, what you need to understand is not the book. It's not the book that's going to make you money. It's how you're going to use the book. The book is a tool. It's a tool. Mia is the best. Thank you. She's the real deal. No hype. Nope. No need for that. Right. I don't have time for it. But anyway, so that's that. I think I did a past scope you guys can check out. And I show you a couple of books that my clients have written and sort of some of the positioning that they've had over the years. If you want to check that out on Catch, you'll love that scope. It was a really good scope. Also, Mia should be the speaker at the Periscope Summit 17. Tickets on sale. You're nominating me? Okay, awesome. I would rock the house, Julia. And if I come, then you have to come. All right? Okay, if I come, then you have to come. All right, Julia? Deal? All right? Right, clearly no hype. Love the authenticity. And that's how I built my business. That's what I think is so cool about us as moms, is that you can build a business that's true to who you are. No, yes, you are. Yes, you are. You can assist me, Julia. You can come, right? If you got to come, Julia. It'll be really good. You'll watch. Well, how are you going to nominate me and not come? Now, what is that? I don't even understand. You have to come. All right. I think you have to apply. Okay. I'm not even really sure. I need to. Okay. We'll deal with it. All right. So let me just say that I think one of the most incredible things that you can do as a mom is when you're building a brand is be yourself, right? And not try to be a version of somebody else's business or somebody else's life. And I remember when, a lot of times when we're moms, people like to tell you, like, let's pretend that you're not a mom. Like, you need to show up like other people. And I'm like, are you, like, seriously? You know what I mean? I'm, like, in carpool in the evenings from when I pick my kids up from 4:30 to 6 o'clock or 6:30 every day. I cannot pretend that I'm not a mom. I'm, like, actually really am a mom. And I need to make sure I have business systems that honor that. And that's what I'm about. And I want to say that to you guys if you're a mom, because sometimes we're trying to do business like everybody else and we're not factoring that we need systems for ourselves to show up powerfully as a mom entrepreneur. And it's absolutely possible. That's why I tell you 4 to 6 hours a week is so important, and it changed my life because that's so funny, right? I couldn't do what everybody else was doing. And if I was trying to do what they were doing and ignoring my life, then you know what? I wouldn't be here talking to you today. And so, I just want to say that to you guys. If you are a mom out there, you can build business on your terms. If Saturday's the only good day for you to work, only work on Saturdays. I'll be at San Francisco again, but bigger. You will be a key speaker. Thank you so much. I love it. I knock it right out the park. Let me just tell you, I would bring it and support a lot of people, and understanding how to use video as a tool for connection and being yourself. That's what's cool, Kimberly, right? Because you're great and amazing. You've got that wonderful voice, and people need to know who you are, and they need to connect with you, and they need to get to know you. When they get to know you, they'll really like who you are, and they'll be able to support your journey on The Voice. You guys need to check her out. Candy _ lady, right? You guys need to check her out. You're so kind. You need to follow her. She is auditioning for The Voice in March, and she's got an amazing voice, right? Vocal voice, and she's such a gifted orator also. So I'm excited. Nicole, thank you. No fear, okay? Are there any other questions for me? Are there any other questions for me? You know what? I picked up the game Risk today. My family, they said, hey, we're going to do board games, right? We are a spade family. We like to play spades. They want to play Monopoly, and they want to play Risk, and they're actually doing a practice round right now so that my youngest can figure out how to play, and then we're like very competitive. Like when we play, I play to win. It doesn't matter that you're a child in my house. My husband and I, we will beat you. Okay, you got to play. So it's a lot of fun, and we're excited about the snow and being able to connect as a family, and just do some really cool things. Are there any other questions? I know. Isn't that you know what? It's so true too. Like we will just We do spades. What solution would you suggest for selling resources online? I know that's right. We don't give our children a break either, right? Right? 9-year-old. Did he love that? That's so funny. I know he thought that was funny. Okay. For selling online, well, one, it depends on what the product is. So you need to say what the product is. But one of the things I think is very important when you're selling something online is to know your target audience. You're listening in the car. Okay, wonderful. What's his name or her name? Who's listening in the car? Is to know your target audience. So if you're selling online, you're not selling to everyone online. You're selling to a certain demographic, right? So what's really important is to know who you're selling to so that you can customize what you're selling. Braden is in the house. Booyah! Hey, Braden, good to see you. And I'm so glad you're here. And, he's your little actor. Is he a thespian? Awesome. We love that. Hey, Braden. I know you're going to enjoy the weekend. You got to do a lot of chores this weekend. You need to make sure you're cleaning your room this weekend, Braden. Clean your room, okay? And then after you're done that, let me see, what could you do? You need to use Windex. You need to Windex all the windows, Braden. And then after that, Braden, no, I'm teasing. Have fun, Braden. Enjoy your family. Your mom is awesome, okay? I'm just teasing you, all right? But you're awesome. You know that. And you rock. You rock, all right? And when you grow up, Braden, you're going to do great and amazing things. You're going to change the world. And I want you to know that. And I know that your mom tells you that all the time, but it's true. And you got to own that. All right. But if you're selling online, one of the things to keep in mind is that you need to know your target audience, right? No, it's serious. I'm serious, Julia. You need to think about who you're selling to, and you need to be targeting your message directly to that audience. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're selling online is they're trying to sell to everyone, right? They're trying to sell to everyone, but everyone isn't your customer. All right. So you'll notice a lot of times on my broadcast, I'll say, I work with women who are smart, they're sharp, they believe in self-investment, and it's all online, right? Like, why am I saying that? I'm saying it because those are the people who are aligned with me. People who like coaching are people who believe in investment. And so therefore, I say that because they are smart. You guys are all smart. You are sharp. You are sharp. You're amazing. And you believe in self-investment. Like, you buy books, you buy tapes, you buy coaching programs. This is who you are. And the reason that I say that is so that people who identify with that say, yeah, that's me. All right. You need to make sure if you're selling online that your target audience can identify that for themselves. Okay. All right. The hearts. What's going on, guys? All right. Don't forget. Right. And tap, tap, tap. Right. And tap, tap, tap. Right. Tap, tap, tap. Now, my personal email address, thank you, Julia, is Mia_Redrick@findingdefinitions.com. Mia_Redrick@findingdefinitions.com. And if you have questions about, something that I said, or maybe you're thinking about working with me as a client, and you just have questions that I didn't answer for you, feel free to email me. Now, I don't do any free coaching, just so you know. That's why I love to do these platforms like this. Yes, he is smiling. Is he smiling super big? Awesome. Up top, Braden. Boom. I just want to say that to you. But if you have a question, I love to support you, okay? And if you are interested in booking a consultation, like a one-to-one consultation, that link right there, MiaRedrick.com, private one-to-one coaching, is what you can go to that link and you can book me personally for, I think it's $200. Just $200, and you save $800 for a one-to-one consult. So I coach a lot of people here on Periscope that way. Brilliant, amazing people. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Are there any last questions for me? Thank you so much, Julia, for putting that there. Are there any last questions for me? Do radio interviews help? Do radio interviews help? Yes, radio interviews do help. And I think that if you are on a live stream platform, thank you so much. If you're on a live stream platform, that's a really great way to prepare you for radio. So if you're not on Periscope, then I will email this week. Okay, thank you so much. If you're not on Periscope, then you should be if you want to do radio broadcasts. Awesome, guys. We're at 584,000. Thank you so much. So keep in mind that you want to be talking a lot, and fine-tuning your message and learning to speak in sound bites and finding out what people want to know about you, and using the live stream platform is a great way to get instant and immediate feedback about what people like and what they don't like. So stay warm in between, you pitching yourself for a live broadcast. That's a great way. Radio is great. I actually hosted a radio show, co-hosted a radio show for about 2 years in Baltimore. I love, love, love radio. It's great, great platform, live, to be able to connect with your audience. Anyway, so I love radio as well, but I like TV. Do you like the new live Facebook feature? That's a really great question. Now, I do. I like how clear it is, Kimberly, but the comments move like slow. So it's sort of like, how on Periscope, when you guys ask me a question, I can answer right away. On Facebook, somebody will write a question. Like, I'll ask a question and it takes like another minute and a half before you see it. There is this delay. So you feel like you're talking to yourself out there somehow. Yeah. I'm using it on my iPhone, yeah, but it's really slow, but it's crystal clear. So I do like the fact that I can see the comments more easily than I can on Periscope, but it like moves really slow. It's very noticeable, and it makes you feel like you are talking to yourself, by yourself. All right. And in that way, you can very clearly see how many viewers you have. But I will say what is different is that instantly the number of people that see it over and over again is higher than on Periscope. So that's kind of interesting too, right? So, the verdict is out. I've only been on that feature this week. This is, I think, 3 times. I've done it 3 times. So we'll see. Have any of you guys used it? Anybody else used it? What do you think? Thank you for responding. Have you used it, Kim? Did you like it? So you see how you just wrote to me, I have, right away? Well, you can't really do that on Facebook Live. It would be like I would be waiting for you to respond to me, to respond to me. Like you still wouldn't have responded yet. And that is kind of weird in a live stream platform because everything's moving and you're talking. It's not available for Android, no. You're on Android, yeah. No, it's good. But you can catch me if you're my Facebook friend. And hopefully you guys are friending me on Facebook, Mia Redrick. My audience today isn't on Periscope. Okay, they're on Facebook, right? But you're going to build an audience on Periscope. Your audience is everywhere. So the thing is, your audience is everywhere, Kimberly, because you're going on The Voice in March. And so your audience is everywhere. It's where people are. So you're just going to go on and you're going to sing and be yourself and let people know how you're preparing for The Voice, okay? You are The Voice, okay? So that's exciting. All right. No Better TV is in the house. No Better TV is in the house, guys. We are about to wrap up. Just put a link and they'll follow. That's right. Did you hear what Julia said? Just put a link and they follow. So what I've been doing is saying to people on Facebook, hey, check me out over here on Periscope. I'm getting on Periscope. So so that I don't have to do 2 different live stream platforms, because that would be kind of crazy busy. So I decided I'm just going to do one. This works really well for me. So I'm just going to tell people on Facebook to catch me over here. Picked you up on Twitter. That live thing is working. Is it working? Okay, so, I haven't seen that yet. So it's moving in real time. Is it like you watching me in real time? Okay, perfect. So I just love all of this live streaming. That's cool. Awesome. So hopefully you guys know about that now in Periscope that, you can see a Periscope, you can see the Periscope live in your Twitter feed. Is that not the coolest thing? So like all your Twitter followers now can see what you're talking about, like in real time. How cool is that? Like, I'm loving it. That's why you guys all need to be here. If you are a brand, if you're an expert, an author, a singer, a coach, it does not matter, okay, what your business is. Okay, you guys need to be here. If you need to be introducing yourself and letting people know. Let the people know. Okay? Let the people know, all right, who you are and what you're up to all right? So Pat's going to do her scope tomorrow, about 2 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to be checking her out. I'm excited about that. Are there any last questions? On the floor before I sign out and go figure out what these guys are doing with this game? Any last questions? Okay. Did this scope support you guys? Yeah, I know. Yay, Pat. Did Shanita? I know. That's awesome, right? It's no pressure, Pat. No pressure, Pat. I know. I know. Did this scope support you guys? Somebody say yes. You're going to watch the replay. Yeah, it's good. It's a Q&A. You didn't get notification. I don't know why. Periscope's, I don't know. I have no idea. I know. Lionel, that's a whole nother story. See, I can't do Lionel because of copyright issues, so I haven't been doing Lionel. I got to find some other music. I didn't either. Absolutely. Yes, the replay. Thank you so much, Ebony. It's been a pleasure sharing with you guys tonight, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. If you do get snow, take it easy, okay? Have fun. Have some hot chocolate with your family. I'm making turkey soup tomorrow. That's what I'm making. I'm making turkey soup for my family. And, I don't know why I'm making turkey soup. And that's my thing. So I'll talk to you guys. I might have to uninstall them and reinstall, the app. Okay, I'll do that then. I'll do that. All right. Okay, meatless meals here. Meatless meals. Okay, perfect. Oh, that's right. You're doing meatless meals. You're going to be skinny. I need to do meatless meals. Hey, but you know what I am going to do that you guys might want to join me on? I'm going to set it up tomorrow is on my Fitbit. I'm going to do a Fitbit community, which is going to be for Time for Mommy. So I don't know if you guys have a Fitbit or not, but if you want to join me, I'll let you know. I'll announce it tomorrow once I set it all up. But I'm going to do a Fitbit group on Let's Go. You do? Okay. I'm going to do a Fitbit group for Time for Mommy, and that way we can hold each other accountable for our fitness goals, okay? You have one, okay? Anybody else have one? So I need to set the group up. Give me tomorrow, and then I'll announce it. And then I reloaded the whole app and still didn't get it. Okay. All right. So let me know if you want to do it, and I'd love to have you. And that way we can hold each other accountable in that regards. Okay. I always do so much more that way. All right. So anyway, it's been a pleasure tonight, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the Mom Strategist. I support moms with life and business success. You know what? You guys can always check me out. You can check me out at miaredrick.com or on katch.me, Mia_Redrick. Okay. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you guys. Have a good night. All right.